We're going to be doing a virgin going darker, and I thought I would actually do a color for you this time. So I've mixed up a color. She is going to go a deeper red tone on top of her original hair color. So I am going to take my color brush. I'm going to do my 4 partings. So I want to tap just the partings in, just because it makes it easier for me to do the color application. I can take the clips out of the way. So similar to what we did in a root retouch, I'm just going through. I'm going to find my 4 sections that I've already sort of pre-parted. I'm going to tap on both sides. I'm not so worried about doing just a 1/2 inch because we're actually going to be coloring all of the hair. So I'm just tapping that red color in. Again, pushing this hair out of the way. Get nice clean partings all the way down. I'm going to wipe my brush off every time, trying. And I went through and I protected the client's skin with a barrier. So there is a color block barrier you can use. Conditioner works as well, just so you don't stain their skin. I'm going to move over to the side. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the side area. So from the balance point or apex or top of the head, I'm going to go in and just tap that in down to the top of the ear as well on both sides. So pull one way, go in, I'm going to brush the other way. Sectioning really helps make sure that you get the hair saturated, that you're doing a professional job, and that you're not missing any hair, rather than just randomly putting color all over, because when you lump too much hair together, you may not get the color fully saturated in all spots. So it just helps you get organized, work the way through the hair to make sure that you're getting everything covered. Also looks more professional when you have a planned out procedure rather than just pouring it on top, because they think, well, I could do that myself. I'm going to start in the front section. I'm going to pick up on a diagonal. So now that I'm done, I can actually take all my clips out. Take my clips on the other side because I have my partings are being held together with the color. So I don't have to worry about it because my partings are all there. Move her around so you can see all sides. So she's already got the partings there. I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to start in the front. So here's my front section. Bring my color close to me. I'm left-handed. I want the color on my left side. If you're right-handed, you want the color on your right side. I'm going to go through. I'm going to pick up a section. I want to really paint from root to end, and I want to make sure that it is completely saturated. So I don't want to miss the ends. I want to work it through with my hand, making sure it's completely saturated, place it over. I'm going to take my next section. I want to take skinny partings so that I can really make sure I get this hair saturated. I'm going to work it up the shaft. And again, right down to the ends. If you start in the front, you're going to do the 2 front sections first. If you start in the back, you can do the 2 back. You would never start on one side and work your way around. You always want to make sure your color is developing and oxidizing at the same rate by doing the 2 front or 2 back, so it doesn't look like one might have had more time than the other. So we always want to decide which way we're doing it. And usually it is, if there's gray coverage, I'm going to start in the front. If I'm going lighter, I'm going to start in the back. If I'm going darker and there's no gray, it doesn't matter. So again, root to end, working it up, making sure all of that hair is saturated. So this is more, you're practicing with conditioner because you want to get the technique down first. Then when you get to a client, you actually don't want to have it sit for too long. One, the color oxidizes as you're putting it on, so it's losing energy as soon as you mix it up. So you want to get it on quickly. So you want to be able to practice the technique first so that when you do get to a client, you're not taking too long in the color application. When we're at school and we're doing color applications, if we need lots of color, say it's long hair, we're going to only start by mixing 1 ounce or 2 ounces at the most to start off with. And then we're going to keep mixing it fresh as needed because the developer has an impact on how that color works. So if you mix it up too much ahead of time, it is not going to have the same strength as freshly mixed up color. So again, when we're learning at school, we sometimes mix as needed. We wouldn't mix the whole amount. We would work around the head and we'd continue to mix if it was taking us a little longer. So we want to practice getting good at the skill, the technique, so that when we do have a real color, we have speed and skill working for us. And again, working your ends, trying to keep it away from her face as much as you can. I'm going to go in right to the root. I don't want to miss anything. Then I'm going to take the shaft. I want to make sure I get enough on there that it's completely saturated. Going right across on a diagonal so that I'm not getting her face. I'll lift up and get both sides. Bring it out and work it right down. Flip it over as I get to the side here. Take skinny sections. Still working it away and bringing it down, working with my hands first and then taking it up and over. I want to make sure that I get all the way around that hairline. So I do want to touch just slightly. Otherwise, I may miss a spot. I'm going to let that get covered, but I don't want it to be on her ear or I don't want it to be on her face too much. So then I can take a towel if needed and I can just clean up that hairline area. Sorry, just got her here. So I'm going to take this, clean that hairline up right around and up over the ear to make sure that she stays fairly clean. I'm going to go do the other side. So I'm going to just turn her around. I'm going to take this hair. I'm going to pull that down gently so it's not touching her face. I'm going to start in this quarter section here. So I'm going to go fastly through this. Then we're going to slow down in the back section and take over there. We're going to continue in the back two sections. Front two are done. We're going to go into the back, same thing. We want to quickly work our way through. So again, starting at the top, picking it up, getting the other side, working it through right to the end, making sure those ends get enough color as well. You want your color to be even, so you don't want it to be faded on the ends. You're going to take diagonal partings, going across here, working it up, skinny sections, getting the color through, pick up my next bit. And so you want to develop the skill first, then you're going to pick up your pace as you're applying the color, because both are important. The time to get it on for processing, also for booking, and the application is for the perfection part of it, whether or not you're missing any spots or not. So you want to make sure that you're getting everything colored and you're not missing any bits, because then you've got twice as much work when you have to go back and do it again. So do it right the first time and make sure you're taking nice clean sections, getting both sides and really saturating right to the end. Again, you can feel it when you're applying that product. You can feel if it's gone through on both sides and if it's saturated. So again, tapping it in, and we're just going to speed our way through right to the end on both sides. Now you've got all 4 sections saturated. So all 4 would be sitting to get their color processed. You can bring the hair back down. Everything from root to end is covered. You would let that process and then shampoo and condition. With the mannequins, as soon as you touch it, the color stains. On a client, if you got color on, you would be taking a corner of the towel and you would wipe and try and get it clean. It will stain the skin, but not if you get it off in like 5 minutes. But if you let it sit for a half hour while it's processing, it would stain the skin. Eventually, within a day or 2, the stain comes off, but nobody likes to leave with stains. So, but on a mannequin, because it's plastic, as soon as you touch it, it just stains automatically. So we try our best, and there we go.